Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to the League Zero Racing Series, the premier Formula 3 iRacing League. It's going to be an exciting one here today as we get ready to head out on to Long Beach. As always, I'm your host, James East with Team Goon Squad Broadcasting. Bring the action 1080p, 60 frames a second. As drivers are getting gridded up for this feature event, starting on pole, it's Josh Green making his way back out in the number 22 machine. Finley Fitzsimmons will be starting second. Jared Ziegler starting third. Reed Gibson qualifying fourth. Raymond Aguilar will be starting fifth. Micah Barnett starts sixth. Jack Mundy starting seventh. Antonio Bianchi starts eighth. Felipe Sarkis starting ninth. Gareth McAllister, the world-famous Australian, he's starting 10th. Jaden Calloway starts 11th. Nick Peterson starts 12th. Cycling it back to Ryan Tebow, he's starting 13th. John Kasai, the propane man, he starts 14th. Kevin Burrows starting 15th. Pete Dickett starting 16th. Michael Fairchild starting 17th. Felipe Ramos starting 18th. We've got Xavier Zanave, the flying Frenchman. He's starting 19th. And Ricardo Espino will round out the 20-car grid here today. A little bit lighter field than we've seen in the past. Time change may be interfering with some of our international racers. As we get... Looks like most of the field is here. We're still waiting on Gibson, Aguilar, Barnett, Thicket, Ramos, and Espino. As you see a few more drivers making their way out onto the grid. And as always, thank you to our fans, friends, and family at home. Tune in, supporting the drivers, supporting the league, as well as supporting the broadcast. Let us know in the chat who you're cheering for. Drivers will frequently have the show pulled up on a separate monitor or maybe their cell phone, and they just about always go back and watch it afterwards. And here we go at Long Beach, the feature event. It's going to be Josh Green leading the field. Now keep an eye out. Oh, as we're already three wide. Looked like that was Ziegler in the middle, the number 57 machine. Easy on it, gentlemen, as we're too wide, heading into the fountain turn here at Long Beach. This is where, we are going to definitely see the safety car deployed. Jared Ziegler in a very precarious spot. The yellow flag is out, and the safety car will roll lap one of the feature event. And that was a massive, massive crash here. Ziegler, unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be able to return to the track. Let's get this focused in. Focus in, look on the right side of your screen, the bright green 57 machine of Jared Ziegler. Not sure what happened. It's number 11 of Reed Gibson to his right. Not seeing any I think there's a bit of netcode. Let's back that up. So I'm not sure if there was netcode there between Gibson. Is there no camera angles at all? Come on, iRacing, do better. So let's slow this down. So look at Ziegler, the left side of your screen. Looks like there's netcode there between himself and Gibson. And now we're going to get a nice tight shot, and poor Ziegler thrown in front of the field here. It'd be quicker to list the drivers. Not look behind him. Another huge incident. There's Gareth McAllister going up and away. I think that was John Kasai, Nick Peterson. So let's this time we're focusing on Kasai, the number 3 machine. He's right behind his teammate Peterson, the number 24, the matching liveries. Let's see what happens here. Is Ryan Tebow. He's 3 wide. What happens to Peterson? Oh, Peterson gets loose. I think there was even more netcode involved with the 37. That's Jaden Calloway. And unfortunately, the two team members going to collide into themselves. And we're going to do one more replay because I find it amusing. Really no other good reason than that. We're going to go on board world-famous Australian Gareth McAllister. No accidents, just happy little moments. Unfortunately, not going to be a happy moment as we've got Jack Mundy, Gareth McAllister, Jaden Calloway, Nick Peterson, Ryan Tebow, Ricardo Espino, Jared Ziegler, and Antonio Bianchi all down pit road. Now we know Espino, Bianchi, Ziegler took toes, so they are 100% out of this main event, this feature event of the night. They will be able to rejoin for the sprint race following the feature. But there's a rule here at League Zero. If you take a tow back to pit road, you are done, you are out, and you are going home. As a broadcaster, always interesting to me to see the concurrent viewers light up here in the broadcast as drivers that are forced into early retirement tune in. Race control tonight being served by Mr. Alex Penn, the younger of the Penn brothers. Now, we saw a report that Nick Peterson was involved in another crash in the number 24 machine. Just locking up the brakes there to avoid getting into traffic. So Josh Green's going to be at the pointy end of the field here. We have whittled it down, losing almost half the drivers. We are down to 12 drivers still out on track. Jack Mundy letting us know in the spectator area he's got 7 minutes of repairs, but will be getting back out on track to try and score well enough to get a good starting position for the sprint race. The sprint race is a top 12 of the feature event finishers inverted grid. And with 13 drivers out on track, anything could happen here. So we're going to go this final lap under iPacing. And let's see if we can get a lap under green flag conditions. Hopefully with 13 drivers left on track, that may be a bit more of a possibility. Also interesting, the final corner triggering the crash report on our broadcast software. But we are green flag, and we are going. It's going to be Josh Green, Finley Fitzsimmons, Reed Gibson, your top three. Aguilar, Felipe Sarkis rounding out the top five. I need to check the stats here. I don't think Sarkis has been able to put that number 4 machine up in the top 5 so far this season. Definitely not in a podium contention, as Fitzsimmons all over the back of Green. Really the top 4 here, very tight and bunched up. A lot of heavy hitters here at League Zero. Looks like Jaden Calloway is going to get back out on track. John Kasai back down pit road. He was not happy with how that number 3 machine handled after the repairs by his pit crew. He will try it once more as we watch the battle between Fitzsimmons and Green. Gonna be very tough to do any overtaking here. Fitzsimmons right in the draft. Looks like Green gets a little bit squirrely there, putting the power down to the rear of that number 22 machine. Green, the Indy Lights driver, running a limited schedule so far for League Zero. But we've got another crash report. It's Ricardo Espino, the final corner. It looks like it's gonna be just him by himself. But we will keep things moving. Let's see if it's just gonna be, oh, you can see the front rotors really blowing on that number 90. Looks like it's going to be a single car incident. Really nobody ahead or behind. Yeah, just locks up the brakes. You can see how much heat he put into those front wheels. As now the top three starting to break away. That's Fitzsimmons, Green, Gibson, pulling a little bit ahead of Aguilar in the 72 machine. But Aguilar in a good spot here, running fourth. Three guys pretty racy ahead of him. Doesn't need to be blazing fast, just needs a mistake out of the other drivers. And speaking of other drivers, here comes Micah Barnett putting the pressure on Kevin Burrows in the battle for 10th. Barnett has been running extremely well so far this season, and here's the big lunge from the 59 machine. Takes the inside, passes Burrows for 10th. And now Barnett's going to put his head down, see if he can just keep picking away at other drivers. He does have the fastest lap of the race. As I say that, what happened here? Finley Fitzsimmons makes a pass for the lead. And now Reed Gibson. Josh Green must have had some sort of bobble. We take a replay of the pass for the lead. Here comes Fitzsimmons. And the number 1 machine flicks it to the inside line of Green. And takes over the lead there, so well done to Fitzsimmons. Right now, Fitzsimmons is your current points leader in the championship. Reed Gibson sitting in second, just 4 points back. Micah Barnett sits in third, Aguilar fourth, and Flo Doms will round out the current top 5 in points. Let's pan back. Micah Barnett still making moves here. As we go on board, the number 59 machine slides up alongside Zanave. Hard on the brakes is Micah Barnett. Keep an eye on that number 59 machine. When we checked it not too long ago, he is battling for the top 11 spot. Has already crawled his way back into 9th. He's still down 3 spots from where he qualified. But Barnett's starting to pick up a little bit of steam here. On board with Barnett once more. He's gaining ground on Michael Fairchild. Fairchild up 9 positions as he sits in 8th. Right now, hard charger out on track, Felipe Ramos. He's running 7th, up 11 positions. Doesn't look like Barnett's going to get the drive he's really looking for here. Oh, but my goodness, does Barnett throw it in deep. McAllister rolls back out on track after 8 minutes and 50 seconds. And getting that machine put back, hopefully pointing in the right direction. And that is the problem with these open wheel machines. They don't crash particularly well. Sometimes you can get all the repairs done, but they still just don't have every part pointed the right direction. As Long Beach quickly becoming the Micah Barnett show as he is just blitzing through the field here. Keep an eye out though, Josh Green getting a little bit more comfortable, clicks off a 114 just about flat. 4/10 faster than Fitzsimmons was that last time by, 3/10 faster than Fitzsimmons' fastest lap of the race. I think Green's feeling a little bit racy here. Interesting to see if Green is going to be content following that number 1 machine for a little while longer. Jack Mundy getting back out on track after 10 minutes in his pit stall. Now, I don't know how well worth it's going to be for drivers such as Jaden Calloway, Gareth McAllister, Jack Mundy. They're going to need some more people to crash here if they want any chance of a top 12. Here we go, the battle for the lead. Green takes a look up the inside line of Fitzsimmons. Fitzsimmons is going to have the inside in the final corner. Both drivers hard on the brakes, but look at the move from Josh Green. Pulls a beautiful high-low maneuver. Green's going to take back over the race lead. Reed Gibson still in third. Oh, we've got another crash report. Oh, are we going to get a caution? We will not. The field will get fired up. That involved Fairchild, Barnett, Zanave. Burrows. I think Peterson might have been tied up in that hard on the brakes. We're focusing on Fairchild in the 88. Oh, Fairchild loops it by himself. The 59 Barnett comes to a stop. And everybody just kind of sits around trying to figure out what's going to happen. Hopefully Barnett doesn't have any damage in the front of that 59 machine from the light. Well, he got impact front and rear. John Kasai takes a tow back to pit road. He is done out. That's exactly what we were talking about, that drivers such as Callaway, McAllister, and Mundy need. They need those further incidents to try and get a good starting position for the sprint race. It's so crucial to be out front and what could arguably be the safest spot out on track if you get a little bit of clean air and can try and break away from the field. Fitzsimmons losing a little bit of time there to green. Looks like Zanave is going to come down pit road and try and assess the damage on that number 12 machine. I'm interested to see, now that green seems to be getting in a groove here, is Fitzsimmons, the previous champion. He's sporting the number 1 plate. Is he going to have anything for the 22? But it looks like green starting to approach lap traffic. That's going to be 15th place driver Gareth McAllister. Denave rolling out of pit road after 13 seconds. Was not in his stall particularly long. And Fitzsimmons closing the gap now to green. These are the two closest drivers out on track. Race leader green chased by Fitzsimmons. What are they going to do with traffic ahead? They've got McAllister not too far ahead, as well as Xavier Zanave, who just rolled out of pit road. And Fitzsimmons all over the gearbox of green here. 3/10 separating the two drivers. Absolutely crazy how close they're getting to the barriers here at Long Beach. Little to no room left for error. Oh, and as I say that, Fitzsimmons finds the margin. Buries it into the wall. Fitzsimmons takes a tow. The number 1 plate has retired for this race. A little bit too much curbing, grabs the wall. And then I also saw Jack Mundy was involved in an incident on his 4th lap. Let's see what happened to Mundy. It looks like no impact for Mundy, just hard on the brakes, triggering the crash report. What a wild night for points. Fitzsimmons, who's only 4 points ahead of Gibson. Oh, I think Fitzsimmons is going to get edged off that 13th place. You still have Callaway, McAllister, and Mundy circulating the track. They're going to be driving around slow and steady, just trying to get safely around. Green has built up a 3-second margin over Gibson. A little bit further back, Pete Thicket having a great race. He's up 11 spots. Trying to reel in Felipe Sarkis in 4th, about 6, 7 tenths separating those two drivers. Looks like Thicket has a bit of a bobble there in the final corner. Will he still be in the draft of the number 4 Brazilian driver, Sarkis? Looks like he's not going to gain too much ground here. One of these drivers sounds like something's bouncing around. We go on board with Pete Thicket. A little bit too much curving there, has the lift slightly. And what a great onboard shot showing just how, I'd say, exhilarating Long Beach racing is. And how absolute little room you really have in this raceway. Darkus has built back up a 1 second advantage over Thicket, but Thicket seems to gain about a tenth through the final 2 corners. Sarkis is going to come down pit road here on lap 14. That's going to put Thicket up into 4th. Your top 3, Green, Gibson, Aguilar, have yet to come down pit road for their 1 scheduled fuel stop. Got a slow-moving car out on track. Ooh, did Callaway have to use the runoff there? Let's check in on the number 37 machine. It looked like he was in the braking runoff. Oh yeah, completely misses it. Thankful for the runoff there. An excellent quick spin around. Dropping the 180 to get things pointing the right direction, but we've got more problems out on track. We've had Jack Mundy report another incident. Xavier Zanave was reported an incident in the number 12 machine. Zanave currently in 11th, 3.8 seconds ahead of Espino. Espino hopping out of the way for lead lap drivers. But Espino really struggling here, that number 90 machine. He's going to pull over, pull into pit road, so I think Espino might be done here. Rough spot for Espino to be in. He's sitting 12th. And he's got drivers such as McAllister and Mundy who are still out on track, who want that top 12 position. And again, as a reminder, if you finish 12th, you start on pole for the sprint race. Micah Barnett has worked his way back up into his original qualifying position, back up into 6th. Well done, Barnett, staying in it, trying to keep his nose cleaned after those incidents. And Barnett's going to move up into the top 5 here. As a reminder, Barnett 3rd in points. With Fitzsimmons retired, he's going to be able to gain a lot of ground on the championship. Pete Thickett's down pit road. This should put Barnett up into 4th. Yep, that's exactly what happens. Barnett crosses the line. Ramos will move up into 5th. Thickett's going to rejoin the circuit in 6th. Still up 10 positions. Still waiting on the top 3 drivers to come down pit road. Barnett, he came down lap 2. Or maybe for a little bit of damage assessment. Now he will surely have splashed off fuel, so he's going to be off cycle with the rest of the field. We check back in on Josh Green, continuously putting drivers lap down here. I believe that's going to be McAllister right ahead of the overall race leader. Or is that Mundy, I wonder? Ooh, Green has to be careful here. Staying out of the vortex of danger. I'm fairly certain that's Jack Mundy. Yes, it is. Mundy trying to overcome attrition. He wants to get a 12th place result. And with Ricardo Espino still down pit road, Jaden Callaway's got a chance of gaining that position. Mundy unfortunately needs at least one more driver to retire early if he wants a shot at it. As Green, now that he's kind of whittled away the competition here, the competition's been whittled away for that 22. Relatively clean track ahead of him. He's got a long way to go before he runs into more lap traffic. Only 13 laps remaining in this feature event. Josh Green, no problems. There was Jack Mundy pulling out of the way for more lead lap drivers. Very few lead lap drivers still at this point. Ricardo Espino was in and out of his pit stall in about 2 minutes. Trying to get some more repairs done on that machine. And straight back down pit road goes Espino. The field, the few drivers still out on track at this point. Very spread out. Now look at this, Jaden Calloway has put that number 37 machine up into 12th as Espino came back down pit road. This is exactly what Calloway was thinking when he went back out on track after those huge incidents. Calloway's been down pit road twice thus far. Last pit stop was on lap 11 for just about 35 seconds. More repairs being done, but Calloway, out of attrition, has possibly put himself in the top spot for the start of the sprint race. Now Josh Green, your race leader, also setting the pace on 1:14.05 his last time by, just about a half second faster than Reed Gibson in second or Raymond Aguilar in third. Ricardo Espino going back out on track. He is going to be a lap down from Calloway though. And it doesn't look like Espino's number 90 machine still has all the bugs worked out. Well, looks like it's a little bit cancered here. But still out on track. That's the important thing here at Long Beach. Now Green in a good spot. He's just about 5 seconds ahead of Gibson. 6.1 ahead of Aguilar. He can kind of put it in cruise control here. No need to hot lap and try and press the issue too much. Just needs to keep the nose clean of that number 22 machine. As you're on board with the race leader underneath the Firestone Bridge. He's about a half straight up over Gibson. And something to point out, look at the front wheels on Josh Green's machine. Not glowing nearly as much as the other drivers, so he's keeping the temps cool, not overexerting himself on the brakes, and trying to make sure the tires last throughout this run. We've got 9 laps left to go. Your top 3 still have not come down pit road. I don't know if it's going to change too much. Micah Barnett sitting in 4th. I think he's going to have to box again. He came down on lap 2. Ricardo Espino's coming back down pit road, the number 90 machine. Micah Barnett, we just talked about the 59. He's back down pit road, which should be his final stop. Felipe Ramos, the number 73 machine, also down pit road. Now, a little bit of a bummer. A lot of the fan favorites like Peter Redden, the number 44 machine, not able to get out on track today. I'm not sure if that's attributed to the daylight savings time here in the States or maybe another issue. Michael Fairchild, Kevin Burrows have moved up in the top 5. They still have yet to box as well as the top 3. As I say that, Green's going to come down pit road. What about Gibson? Gibson will join the party as well as Raymond Aguilar. This will be their one scheduled stop of the evening. We're focused in on Michael Fairchild in 4th. Fairchild, again, another driver is yet to box, but he's up 13 positions. Green, Gibson, Aguilar all rolling out of pit road. Green, your race leader, was also the fastest in and out of his stall. 4.3 seconds. Gibson, 4.9. Aguilar, 4.6. What happened here? We had Pete Thickett and Nick Peterson trigger a crash report. I wonder if it's going to be a final corner lockup. Focused in on Thickett. Yeah, I think so. I think drivers just extremely hard on their brakes. We've got Nick Peterson. He's caught up to Micah Barnett. Barnett came down pit road on lap 20. He's good to go till the end here. Barnett in and out of his pit stall, 4.4 seconds. But look at this. Felipe Sarkis in the mix, the number 4. Sarkis just having a great race in that number 4 machine. Currently 7th out on track. He's only up 2 spots from where he started. Now, I do stand corrected. Sarkis has had 1 top 5 this season. That was at Red Bull Ring way back January 26th. As Sarkis puts a very clean move on Nick Peterson's number 24. Peterson was involved in that lap 1 incident with his teammate John Kasai. Let's see if Peterson can possibly fire back here. Peterson up 5 positions as he runs 7th out on track. It also looks like Raymond Aguilar may be closing the gap up to Reed Gibson in 2nd. Aguilar and Gibson both have the most to gain here as far as points. Green, your race leader, the part-time entry, won't be upsetting the championship too much by his dominant performance so far in this feature event. Three-quarters of a second separating Gibson and Aguilar. Gibson 2nd in points, Aguilar in 4th. Aguilar definitely has the most to gain here. But surely the 2 drivers know it's going to be a big win for either one. The points they will be able to make up. As championship contender and points leader Fitzsimmons taking that tow, retiring from the feature event. Aguilar picked up a win just a couple weeks ago before a 1-week vacation here at League Zero with a first at Spa. But Aguilar also had heartbreak in the feature event. Excuse me, the sprint event where he only was able to bring home 7. But Aguilar is going to put the hammer down. He's gaining a little bit of ground, inch by inch behind Gibson. Surely Gibson can see the number 72, the bright purple 72 of Aguilar in tow. Looks like Gibson got a little bit better drive out of the final corner, pulls that gap to just about 9/10 of a second over Aguilar. 5 laps left to go here at Long Beach. Nick Peterson comes back down pit road, the number 24 machine. He's going to fall back to 8. I think if he's able to get that machine fired back up, he's good to go. As Kevin Burrows, who we're focusing on, is about 25 seconds back, but closing fast as Peterson makes his way out of pit road. What's it going to be? Who's going to be out front? It's going to be Burrows taking over the 9th place spot ahead of Peterson. Peterson has such a long way to go on pit road. He's going to fall back now to 11th as there goes Xavier Zanave, working his way to the top 10. Zanave, the number 12, now up 9 positions. Hard Charger on track still. Pete Thicket, the 84, he's up 12 spots. And it looks like Josh Green may be approaching lap traffic. He's got Gareth McAllister and I believe Nick Peterson not too terribly far ahead of that number 22 machine. Your top 3, Green, Gibson, Aguilar, all on the same pit strategy, all came down pit road on lap 21. They will be good to go till the end unless somebody miraculously underfueled, which the caliber of these drivers I very highly doubt happened. But take a look. You can just barely see 13th place. Gareth McAllister ahead of your race leader. And there is Gibson and Aguilar not too far behind, so Green does not want to get tied up with lap traffic here. And everybody, even though we're at the tail end of this thing, everybody has to stay hyper-focused. One single mistake, very easy to clog and block the track here at the Long Beach Street Circuit. Looks like lap traffic doing a great job hopping out of the way for these top 3 drivers. I think at this pace, Green not really closing the gap to lap traffic as quickly as I thought he would be. May have clean track ahead of him. Jaden Calloway still in that 12th place spot. Looks like he will be starting on pole position for the sprint if the lineup stays static here. Just a couple short laps left to go for Josh Green. You can see Gibson and Aguilar in the background, but they are fairly far back. 3.4 seconds separating Green and Gibson. Let's call it 1 2/10 between Gibson and Aguilar. Still relatively clean track for Green. Has not quite caught up to McAllister here. Callaway in 12th, just about 2 laps ahead of McAllister in 13th. unfortunately, I don't think McAllister's going to be able to fight his way back up into 12th here. There's not enough time left in the race. Even if Callaway crashed right now and took a tow, I don't think McAllister would be able to pick up that position. As Green makes his way down the back half of the circuit, Barney, our flag, gets ready to unfurl the white flag. And Green has caught up to McAllister. I would expect McAllister will see the blue flag quickly hop out of the way for the race leader. There's also Nick Peterson overcoming adversary in the number 24 machine. Peterson running 11th, having a great go. The white flag is out for Josh Green. McAllister doing a great job hopping out of the way of the race leader. We've had something go on. Michael Fairchild. Oh, Felipe Ramos. Oh no, the 73 machine in big trouble here. He falls back to 9th. Ramos takes a tow. What is this going to do for the top 12? Let's see what happened to Ramos and the number 73. We saw him use the runoff once before. Is it the same corner? Oh, it is. Just entirely too deep on the brakes. Smashes the left side of that machine. The checkered flag flies for Josh Green. Reed Gibson finishes second, and Raymond Aguilar will round out the top 3. Josh Green parks it on the fountain and tears up some landscaping here. Now, if you thought the feature event was exciting, get ready for the sprint race. Where we're going to go 15 laps here at Long Beach. I'm personally, oh, let's get a poll up for the fans at home. Go ahead and get that going on the YouTube side of things. Will we see the safety car deployed for the sprint race here today? That's what we want to know from you, our fans. And we'll get things started with our top 3 up first. The number 72 machine, Ray Aguilar. Ray, welcome back. A good race, a hectic race, but I'd say about what we normally expect here for Long Beach.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever actually finished a race at this venue, so I decided to try to do that tonight. And, third place, not too bad. Got some points, staying in the hunt.
Well, it seemed like it worked out well for you. I mean, surely up front is the cleanest place you can be. Is that correct?
You would think, right? These lappers were very choice tonight. I feel like they'd get out of the way for the guys in front of me, and then as soon as they see third place, that whole leader privilege goes away, and they get right in front of you.
But you're saying tonight it was a little bit better? They were very quick to see the blue flag and move? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying it was worse tonight. I feel like they'd get out of the way for Josh, and they'd see Reed in second, close behind, so they'd get out his way. And then they'd stop paying attention, and poor Ray back in third would get, they'd jump in front of me. I
Yeah.
stayed clean through the first though. Through the first turn, I'm shocked that I did. I saw a car going into the fountain, which is a right-hander, turn left and hit the wall. I don't know why that happened, and somehow I didn't get destroyed and all that.
Well, it seemed like things worked out well for you. Back in 2021, you picked up a ninth here at Long Beach. So from ninth to third, it took a couple years, but looks like the bad luck's finally wearing off for you here at Long Beach.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the luck spiral with Long Beach is gone, but the sprint race, you know how it is, starting from what are we starting from like ninth, so we'll see 10th. Yeah, this is gonna be
It's
rough.
it's going to be exciting. So Ray, best of luck
Pray
in the
for me,
sprint race.
James.
We will. Hearts and minds from up here in the broadcast booth. And Ray, before we let you go, who do you want to give a shout out to that made it happen for you?
Want to thank Track Limit Racing, Avanti, Team Good Squad for putting on a good show, and my wife for always being supportive. She told me I needed to get in shape, do lunges, and I said that'd be a big step forward, you know. So tonight was a good race for that.
Big step forward. Well done. Great puns all the way around. Ray, best of luck in the sprint, and hope to have you back up here.
Yep, thanks, man.
Thank you, sir. That was Ray Aguilar finishing in third. Up next, Reed Gibson finishing second. Reed, welcome back. And, man, what a great points night with all the calamity that struck the field.
Yeah, I came in with very low practice, and I'm very tired right now, and I am more than happy to have just not hit a wall and pumped in decent laps.
Now, Reed, are you tired from the workout that we know is Long Beach, or was that existing factors coming into tonight that has you a little bit off your game?
Definitely a bit of both. I kind of came running to the sim from the gym, and Long Beach is not the easiest on the old arms. So about halfway through that race, I saw Ray starting to close the gap, and I had to actually mute my group chat so I could focus because I felt like I was in the trenches.
Yeah, I mean, rookie move, Jim, right? I mean, it doesn't matter if it's leg day, arm day. It's going to be a rough day in the sim here at Long Beach. But, Reed, I mean, we're going to the sprint race. We could have seen the safety car twice in the feature event. I'm not going to ask you if you think we're going to see a safety car. I'm going to ask you, when do you think we're going to see the safety car?
Lap one.
Lap
If
one
it's gonna
is the
happen,
prediction?
yeah, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen lap one, either in the fountain or the hairpin. So I got to keep my eyes on a swivel, keep looking ahead, and the goal is just to get some points. I didn't do the greatest of jobs here at I dubbed my home race last year, so the goal is to score points in both races.
Well, points you were definitely scored, and I guess my final question for you, Reed, is there a good spot to actually start at here to limit the vortex of damage or danger? Sorry, that was a Freudian slip, but is there a good spot to start at to try and make it through the sprint race, or is it just the same no matter what?
If I had to pick one place to start, I would just want to be on the outside of Finley because for some reason he can almost always outbrake me, and I trust that he won't run me off into turn one.
Well, awesome. We wish you the best of luck out there, Reed, and hope to have you back up here following the sprint.
All right, thanks. See you later.
Thank you, sir. That was Reed Gibson finishing in third. Now, it doesn't look like we're able to get Josh Green up here into the waiting room. We'll see if he joins, but while we're waiting, we're going to run a brief intermission. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in about 5 minutes for the final sprint race of the night. Half the laps, twice the action here at League Zero. Oh, Pearson gets into the 95 of Folks. Here comes the caution.
Flag is dropped here at Daytona, and away we go for the first time. Nicholas Morcel, Sean.
It looks like most get through unscathed. Look at that, there's Reed Gibson. A big move at the inside line of Dom's, possibly a little bit of contact.
Up now as we've got three wide action going through turns 1 and 2.
And they're underway. Eric Hahn takes a nice jump. Wilson hasn't let him go very far.
Nice to go out here for Circuit Spa Francorchamps. Alex Johnson's off to a brilliant start there.
Just how oddly shaped this one is. We saw in the background Eric Hahn go for a bit of a swing, and he's gone and he's over.
Smooth stuff. Cody Graham's the one-on-one up into second place. Alex Johnson 6/10 the lead at the moment.
They're dicey up front. There's Andrew Kessel, Justin Sang.
They are ready to go. The lights are out, and away we go for the very first time here at Okayama International Circuit. Finley Fitzsimmons.
Welcome back, race fans. It's time for the sprint race. Half the laps, twice the action here at the League Zero Formula 3 Series, the premier Formula 3 League. The top 12 are going to be inverted for this start, and it is going to be action-packed. We do have a poll up on YouTube. Right now, 100% of the audience saying we are definitely going to see the safety car deployed for this one. Starting in the top spot, Jaden Calloway. Felipe Ramos starting second. Nick Peterson starts third. Xavier Zanave starting fourth. Kevin Burrows starting fifth. Michael Fairchild starting sixth. Felipe Sarkis starting seventh. Micah Barnett starting eighth. Pete Thickett starting ninth. Raymond Aguilar starts 10th. Reed Gibson starting 11th. And Josh Green, the winner of the feature event, will be starting 12th with this inverted top 12 grid. Waiting for a few more drivers to make their way out onto the track. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, for the final time tonight, the sprint race here at Long Beach. Jaden Calloway is going to lead the field into turn 1, the 37 machine, but keep an eye out. Here comes Felipe Ramos and the 73. He is hungry to get in front of the field. Now this is where we saw calamity, the opening lap of the feature event. Will the field get through clean here? Ramos first into the fountain. Looks so far so good. The field being a little bit more cautious here this time. Oh, never mind. Drivers starting to stack up. Jack Mundy, Jared Ziegler, Antonio Bianchi. Oh, and more problems. There's Pete Thickett, Felipe Sarkis off track. Felipe Ramos puts his head down up front trying to get things going, but no, Ramos has problems. Ramos throws it away from the race lead here. We focus in on the 73 machine. He's going to immediately drop 14 positions. Oh, just loops it on cold tires. Thankfully, the field able to get around nice and clean. That's going to give the lead back to Jaden Calloway. Nick Peterson running second. Xavier Zanave in third. Oh, I'm seeing a big one out on track. A huge one. The track is completely blocked. Where is the there's the safety car. Let's try and get this one queued up, because this is going to be another spectacular one. So it's going to be in the final corner here. We're focusing on Josh Green, the feature event winner. And let's see who stacks it up first. Green with a gutsy move to the inside line. Looks like the 17 of Antonio. Is that Antonio? No, it's not Antonio. It's somebody just ahead of Green. Quite see who that was. Try and get one more look at that. We're focusing on Green and the 22 machine. Can't quite see who's ahead of him. Maybe the 11 of Gibson? He's side by side with Fitzsimmons. Oh, it's the 11 of Gibson. Green shoots to the inside. Gibson, no idea who's there, turns in. Fitzsimmons gets edged around, and the field just stacks up behind. Antonio Bianchi involved. I can't tell if that's going to be John Kasai, the number 3 machine. And the field just keeps barreling in total disregard for man and machine here. You know who's going to be nervous right now is Jaden Calloway, the race leader. Finished 12th in the feature event, started on pole for the sprint. As the field catches up to the iRacing safety car. And for those that predicted that we would see the safety car, you are absolutely right. For those that voted after the safety car was deployed, we see you up here in the booth. We're going to sit behind our iRacing safety car. And we will try this once more. Only 15 laps in this main event. Safety car should be coming down pit road this time by. We'll get things fired back up. And Jaden Calloway is going to hold on for dear life. Calloway picked up a second at Brands Hatch February 2nd. Since then, it's been a rough go with the highest finish of 6th at Hockenheimring. As we follow along, it's Calloway, Peterson, Barnett, your top 3. Fairchild, Aguilar rounding out the top 5. Pace car is in, away we go. Callaway puts the hammer down. He's got Nick Peterson, the number 24 machine, right behind, as well as Barnett. Every driver looking for redemption after that sprint race. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be Ramos back down pit road. Zanave and Burrows forced into retirement here. Callaway leads the field around the fountain, does so cleanly. Now, every time we bunch the field back up, that presents another opportunity for some massive amount of carnage. Aguilar and Gibson, they're running 5th and 6th. They need the points here. Fitzsimmons back in 13th. Just wants to get this night over with and put it all behind him. Micah Barnett looking quick here in the 59. A little bit close there for comfort. And look at that battle. That was Raymond Aguilar, Michael Fairchild. Aguilar a big send at the inside line, and that 72 does so very cleanly. He would love some back-to-back podiums here, and most importantly, he's putting Fairchild between himself and Gibson. Now both Aguilar and Gibson are going to gain some points on Fitzsimmons tonight, but Aguilar, he's got championships in mind. He wants to go straight through the top. Micah Barnett putting the pressure, putting the heat on Nick Peterson. Barnett, very slick, takes over the second place spot. Let's see if Barnett puts his head down here, trying to catch up to Callaway. Meanwhile, right behind them, Aguilar's in the draft of Peterson, the battle for third. Aguilar finished third in the sprint race. We just talked about his highest finish here in Long Beach heading to tonight was back in 2021, where he finished sixth. But we've got another crash report. Fitzsimmons out of the race, taking a tow. It is a dreadful night for the championship leader. Oh my goodness, was that thicket right ahead of Fitzsimmons? It was. Let's get one more angle of that. Fitzsimmons just didn't have anywhere to go there. Thicket slides in the wall and then gets absolutely clobbered by Fitzsimmons. Josh Green slowly gaining ground as well. He's up into fifth. After making his way around Fairchild in the 88. Still some big moves being made here, but only 8 laps left to go. Fairchild doing a good job keeping the pressure on Gibson, but he's got Ziegler right behind the 57. Ziegler doesn't have the results to show for it, unfortunately, here today, but he's been driving extremely well. Qualified well for the feature event, but has been a night of attrition. And while this is going on, Micah Barnett has passed Callaway for the lead. Here's the pass on your Team Moon Squad instant replay. Callaway, the purple and black. Barnett, the black and white, very clean from the 59 machine. Oh no, there's big problems. Ziegler up and over. And Fairchild just takes off like nothing happens. What happened? I can't tell if maybe Fairchild had a bobble. Here's the 57 machine of Ziegler. Oh, Ziegler looks a little bit out of shape there. So far, so good. Side by side, heading into the fountain. Just two drivers trying to occupy the same bit of real estate. They go wheel to wheel, up and over. This is my favorite part. Michael Fairchild casually rolls away. Nothing happened. We talked about Ziegler, just doesn't have the results to show for how well he was driving here tonight. An absolute shame for the 57, as he will now be on pit road sitting 15th. And more problems, Michael Fairchild finds himself pointing the wrong direction. But we've got a battle for third. Josh Green has worked his way back up into podium contention around Nick Peterson. Right behind Peterson is Aguilar as well as Gibson. This is a very stacked field. Micah Barnett checking out. He's 2.6 seconds up over Callaway. Pearson wants to fight his way back forward, and who is that? That's Reed Gibson, the number 11 machine. He's got issues. Oh, waits for some clean track and doesn't find it. Not quite sure who he bumped there, but a very exciting moment. There was definitely contact made between Gibson and another driver, as the field split around that number 11 machine, who's parked in a very precarious position. McAllister and Tebow having a great race here for 8th. Oh, look at the beautiful move by Tebow. That's the exact same move that Green pulled on Fitzsimmons in the feature event. It's going to be a drag race down the start-finish line. McAllister at the line by 0.02 of a second. Who is going to yield first here? Still side by side. It's going to be Tebow. I thought was going to back out of it, but a big lunge to the inside line. And McAllister spins. Tebow gets into him. And oh, the field's going to go a very tough spot to be in. So McAllister will fall back to 12th now. My goodness. Here's the battle for 4th between Peterson and Aguilar. Barnett clicks off the fastest lap of the race, a 1:14.16. He's got clean air all the way around that number 59 machine and is absolutely cruising here. Now Reed Gibson comes down pit road, so that contact must have given him some sort of meatball. Gareth McAllister also down pit road. Jack Mundy having all sorts of issues. Oh, absolutely drills the wall there. Tyler Book, current objective, survive for these drivers. Long Beach chewing them up and spitting them out here. Now I'm excited for this battle. I'm waiting to see what Aguilar is going to do. Right behind the number 24 of Peterson. Meanwhile, Josh Green has been closing that gap to Jaden Callaway. Callaway looking for his second ever League Zero podium. He's got 3 laps to hold on to it here for. And oh, here we go. Aguilar closing the gap to Peterson. Meanwhile, Callaway knows Josh Green breathing down his neck. Looked like Aguilar may have had to lift a little bit there. Yes, Peterson pulls up to about a half-second advantage. Go a little bit further ahead to Josh Green, who's stalking Jaden Callaway in the 37 machine. 3 laps left to go. These guys are ripping. Up front, it's still the Micah Barnett show. He's 5.5 seconds ahead of anybody around him. And most importantly, Barnett, who's up 7 spots, has wide open track ahead. Barnett was third in points coming into tonight. This could be huge. He has not had a win since February 9th at Hockenheimring. And in that feature event, he was able to get a fourth at the Hockenheim Sprint, as well as a third at the Spa feature event. Here we go, Josh Green, less than a quarter of a second back from Callaway. Callaway's going to defend heavily here. Green is going to keep the pressure on the 37. Will Callaway yield as Green works his way up along the inside line? I don't think Callaway's going to have an option here. Oh, Callaway a little bit deep there on the brakes off his preferred line is going to give Josh Green the second place spot in the 22, the double 2 machine. All eyes are on Callaway to see if he tries to make something happen. He may just be happy settling for third. They're 2.3 seconds up from Aguilar. Callaway in the draft doesn't quite have the momentum he's looking for a lunge at Green. But doing a great job shadowing the Indy Light driver of Green. But now Green with that clean air, stretching his legs out. We pan back, check in on a race leader who is a mile ahead here. It's Barnett, Green, Callaway, your top three. Aguilar and Peterson round out the top five. Right now, Bianchi, though, in the number 17 machine, he's our hard charger of the evening. Oh, Barnett, a bit of a moment there. Snap in the rear end around of that 59 machine. Has to be careful not to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. As Barney, our flagman, throws the white flag for the 59. Last time by Barnett, a 14.81, 3/10 slower than Green. So if he just keeps the pace, he's looking good here to pick up yet another win and put himself right back in championship contention. Micah Barnett, he was extremely quick in the feature event, just marred by bad luck. Looks like things finally starting to go his way. As if I'm looking at this correctly, we're going to have only 10 drivers finish this sprint race. Checkered flag is out. And put your hands together. Micah Barnett's going to finish on the top spot once again. A massive win for the 59 machine. And with Reed Gibson in pit road, Finley Fitzsimmons having to retire early. What is this going to do for the points? We got to work on Barnett's burnout a little bit. And we're going to get our top three drivers up here into victory lane and get the party started. We're waiting on Callaway, Green, and Barnett to get up here to the waiting room. Looks like we've got Callaway So up first, we're going to get third place finisher Jaden Calloway, number 37. Jaden, welcome back. I believe second podium in your League Zero history, and that must have been nerve-wracking, the top spot at Long Beach of all tracks.
Yeah, it definitely was. The first race, the start didn't go so well, but this one ended up being a lot better.
Now, Jaden, with that caution, do you think that kind of helped things out, or did that just give you the pre-race nerves all over again, having to start up front with so many talented drivers right behind you?
Well, it was a pretty decent start. I think I had like a 1.5 gap by almost the end of the first lap, but of course that caution came out, so that kind of just reset everything.
Well, you got a little bit of momentum built up. We've got a few races left in the season. What's the plan for the remaining rounds to try and capitalize on this this massive finish at Long Beach and keep things going as you're just outside the top 10 in points before we tally everything up tonight?
Yeah, top 10, that's definitely my goal. And I've really just been trying to gauge how many points I need and who I need to fight with to get it, but that's the end goal.
Awesome, Jaden. It's great having you back up here. Good to see you here more often as well, and hopefully we do it more often in the future. And before I let you go and celebrate, who do you want to give a shout to that helps make it happen for you?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out my friends and family who support me, and my good friend Felipe Sarkis. He's really been helping me out. He's given me a lot of good tips and tricks, and I appreciate him.
Awesome. Very well said, Jaden. Congratulations, and good luck in the future.
Thank you.
That was Jaden Calloway finishing in third. Looks like Josh Green's not going to make his way up here again. We're going to drag Micah Barnett up into the booth. Micah, welcome back. A big win after a few races of bad luck, but looks like, at all things, a sprint race at Long Beach is where things come back together.
Yeah, it's a little surprising, but super happy with that result, not getting collected in any of the various incidents that were happening. So yeah, very happy with that.
Now, you were kind of in the meat grinder on the initial start, in about the same spot in the restart of the sprint race, and it seemed like you were able to cut through traffic a little bit better than you did in the feature event where you got put towards the back, and that seemed like an uphill battle as well for you. So really, all night you were fighting uphill.
Yeah, I jumped the start on the feature, just not quite being ready. Got myself short on time and hit the wrong button and rolled forward, so I had to stop and hold for like 30 seconds. And so yeah, that sent me straight to the back, and a lot of work to do to get back up to fifth there. But yeah, the sprint was not so bad. I mean, I think everybody was pretty fair, the guys I was racing with anyway. So.
Now, Micah, again, it's been kind of a bit of a dry spell since Hockenheimring, since we've seen the top spot. Still some good results in there. Quite a few for us, a third at Spa. And, I mean, when you come into a track such as Long Beach, is there any plan? You and I talk just about every week we have you in the booth about what's the plan to sprint, but is it even possible to have a strategy at Long Beach?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty simple one, right? Because you're really just trying to... Things are going to sort out if you can make it a lap past the start or the restart. And then after, so you got to, pick your passing points wisely. I think the thing you can't plan for is incidents that happen maybe right in front of you, or especially around some of these blind corners. I know Reed got caught up in one of those in the second race, and ended his night for the most part. So yeah, you try to be clean, but you're just sort of at the whim of the gods when it comes to what you're going to come up against when you come around the corner.
Well, Micah, I'm glad the Long Beach gods smiled in your favor, picking up a massive win. I'm very interested to see what this is going to do for the championship implications. I know Fitzsimmons had a particularly rough night. Gibson also rough in the feature event. You're better. You're probably a smarter guy than I am. It's a safe bet, Micah. I mean, do you think you're going to be the points leader coming out tonight?
First of all, I'm not that smart. Second of all, yeah, I don't know. I had sort of given up on chasing points because I kept having results where both Reed and Finley were pulling away from me. But yeah, I think this will make it interesting again. Anyway, it's I guess that's the good thing, is any of us can have a 0-point night at any time. So you just never know.
Well, hey, good to have you back up here. Really excited to see how the rest of the championship's going to go. And, Mikey, you've got the privilege, the pleasure, the final send-offs of the night. Who do you want to give a shout-out to that helped make this win possible for you?
Yeah, as always, all my Scuderia Chicken House buddies, good group of guys. It was great to have Pete with us tonight from the UK. And also to my wife and daughter who complained that I only ever gave them a shout out once. So here's a second one for them.
Attaboy, no doghouse for you tonight. Micah, always a pleasure, my friend. Hope to have you back up here soon, and congratulations on a massive win at such a tough track.
Thank you, James. Much appreciated.
Very glad to, sir.
Yep.
That was Micah Barnett picking up a big win of the sprint race here at Long Beach. He was accompanied by Josh Green in second, and Jaden Calloway rounding out the top three. On behalf of Team Goon Squad Broadcasting and LeagueZero.net, I've been your host, James East. Thank you all so much for spending your Thursday night with us. It's been a privilege, a pleasure, and I'll see you at the next one. Have a great night, everybody.